Okay, my name is Fran Miller. I'm with Remax Top Performers, and I'm here with Marianne Thiessen
Yes.
with Bayfield Mortgages,
Yes.
a Bayfield
exactly.
mortgage professional.
Yes.
And Marianne's going to talk to us a bit about introducing yourself and about what you do and what you can do for clients, and then a couple of questions on the Sunshine Coast.
Sounds great to me.
Okay.
Thanks, Fran. I'm delighted to be here, and I'm really glad you asked me to do this.
Okay, so first of all, we'll start with if you could sort of describe your business and
Mhm.
how you can help people and what your job is.
Okay.
for people.
I am a mortgage broker, which means that I am working for clients that are looking to purchase, refinance, or maybe even renovate their home. They're coming up for their mortgage renewal. They're looking for options, right? And I look for the best possible deal that fits their needs, right? So, and it could be that their own financial institution is the perfect place for them. So I will direct them that way. I'm trying to make sure that it's a good economic and financial decision for these people with their properties.
So you're not necessarily connected with any bank in particular, or
No,
anything you're-
I work for the client. I do not work for the bank. I don't work for a specific mortgage lender. I work for the client, and I have a whole realm of lenders that I can work with in order to find the best deal for these people. Yes.
Okay, and what made you decide to start this? When did you start with Bayfield?
I started with Bayfield about 2 years ago, and prior to that, I've always been in the lending industry or financial services industry. So back in, I guess it's 1983, I got my first job with a financial institution. It happened to be a credit union, and I have been in the financial services industry since that time, on and off. I've been a stay-at-home mom as well, but I've always enjoyed lending, and especially mortgage lending. I feel it's important to have give the opportunity to people to purchase property, and to say that you may not be ready at this time, but with some work, 6 months, a year down the road, you're going to qualify to purchase a property. For me, the biggest satisfaction is getting people into their first home. It's just, there's nothing that can describe that. It's just enjoyable. Yes.
That's great. And what was it like when you started? I know you had some bank experience as well in there, right?
Yes. I have some a lot of credit union experience. I have some banking experience as well. When I first started to be on my own, what was it like? It was difficult because I went from a salary-based position to now being 100% commission-based. That is a big leap because you don't know what's going to happen, right? Like who's going to use you. And what I think the big thing is taking people and getting them so that they can actually go and purchase a property, right? So that was a big thing. It was the unknown factors that I think everybody who's on a commission-based type of job or self-employed goes through, right?
Now, what happens if a client comes to you and they don't know anything about it? Like, can you start them? Do you have checklists? Do you have things that someone can bring for you, or like how
Yes.
much preparation do they have?
I basically when I first meet with somebody, I do an in-length conversation interview. I need to know their background. I need to know where they're coming from. I need to know what their comfort level is. What kind of a risk taker are they? Like, are they people that like to go right to the edge, or do they need that buffer? So there is a definite checklist. I have one in my head, as well as I have a checklist that when they're wanting to move forward with an application, there's the documents that they need to have. Like they need to have a certain amount of income verification, all those kinds of things. So I do have a checklist for them.
Mm-hmm. So they can come in and just ask you from square one what they need to do, what they need to get.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, what on my questions here? What surprised you most when you started owning a business?
Surprised me. See, there was a couple of things there. I think I don't even know if there were big surprises. I mean, I was nervous about being 100% commission based. I didn't have something that really surprised me. I think the thing that I had to be really aware of is all the rule changes that happen in the industry. They happened while I was working for financial institutions as well as now being on my own. It's the matter of keeping up to date and being on top of these government changes, all the rules around home ownership, being on top of that so that I can offer the best product to the client, right? Being aware of that and giving the best advice is really what it comes down to.
And what about, what do you think what would your customers say they love most about working with you? And
I think I'm very good at putting people at ease when I meet with them. It doesn't matter, like they may start off with being very rough and that, but I find as I get to know the person I'm talking to, whether it's face to face, whether it's even on email, on the phone, I tend to gauge, I guess, the conversation, and I really try to put people at ease to get them to know that they're going through a process that most Canadians go through in regards to having questions about home ownership. How does a mortgage work? What is the interest rate? How does the interest rate work? So it's putting clients at ease. I think that's my biggest thing. And the other thing is I try to encourage them, get a feel for where they're at, and encourage them that this is a possibility, that their dream of home ownership is a possibility for them, not be too negative about it. That's, I think, my strong points.
that's good. Those are good ones.
And integrity, right? I really am base my thing on honesty and integrity. Which is the same word, but
yeah, well, no, it's different. But and it talks about the plans for the future. Do you have any, like, what do you see coming in the mortgage industry? What do you think people are going to have to know, or what do you think that people can learn from you if you were to predict anything? I know you can't predict it. But.
Yeah. I think in the future, what I've been seeing, especially since last year in fall, is it's becoming more difficult to qualify for a mortgage, especially for first-time home buyers. We've seen the market really go up in prices, and then the government has initiated new rules in regards that the qualification process has become a little bit harder. Lenders, even besides the financial institutions, I'm finding lenders that used to be a little bit more lenient in regards to mortgages have become more strict in their policies, and it's becoming more difficult. So what I see for the future is basically people really need to know what they're getting into and how to start the process so that they know that they aren't going to be disappointed when they do want to go and qualify for a mortgage. So they need to be more aware of the do's and don'ts, what they need to have in place. So I feel my role as a mortgage broker is maybe more of a advice giver, because basically everybody who comes in through my door, I don't necessarily find a mortgage for, but I can definitely give advice so that they can move forward and qualify in the future for a mortgage.
And there are all those programs like that new one where they'll help match to help you with the down payment, and you can go over that with people and make them feel comfortable and all those rules.
Yes.
And you've been here for how long? You've been on the coast for ages, right?
I have been here since 2004.
Okay.
I moved here in July of 2004, and coming from the prairies, so it's
That's
been a great move. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I miss family and friends back in the prairies, but definitely like the Sunshine Coast. Love the Sunshine Coast.
And what would you, if somebody was just new and coming here, what would you tell them like not to miss? Say either outdoors or restaurant wise, or what would be your favorite?
My favorite, I haven't done it for a while, but I do like going up Soames Hill, climbing to the top there, and then having that overlook of the marina of Gibson's, seeing Keats, seeing Bowen, seeing the ferries moving out there. It's just a beautiful view from up there. The trail walks, going to Chapman Creek Falls, you know, anything that has a hike that ends in a waterfall, I'm impressed with.
Yeah.
And getting a viewpoint of the Georgia Strait or Salish Sea is wonderful. I love the scenery. I love the ability to have it just so close by, right? Even the drive down to the ferry terminal, the coastal mountains, the view. Yeah. And it's like, I live here. I'm not just visiting. I live here. It's great.
A favorite restaurant?
Favorite restaurant? Oh, I have to go to Seashalt. I really like the Basted Baker.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's a good one.
Yeah, I really like them. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I have several, so it's hard to just like for certain things, right? You know, breakfast, the Gumboot Restaurant. I love their breakfast. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much for being with us.
okay.
This is Marianne Thiessen with Bayfield, a Bayfield mortgage professional. Is that
Exactly. Yes. And I do have a website, mortgagemp.ca.
MortgageMP.ca.
Mortgage MP, military police, member of parliament, whatever you want to call it. Mortgage MP, actually mortgage professional.
Oh, okay. Okay, mortgagemp.ca, and then all of your contact information will also be on this link.
Yes,
So
okay.
people will have all that. And just thanks for taking the time out with us.
Okay, thanks, Fran.
It's Fran Miller with Remax Top Performers, and thanks for listening.
So long.